if Nightmare wins this, which actually I think Theory's definitely favored, but we would have the perfect balance.
Yeah.
Two
David
Celestials.
Kim wins
Thank
again.
you, David Kim.
Kim.
Once again.
Celestials on top where they belong.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Takes a long time to get rid of the French language, apparently.
It's torturous.
Dude, they have.
I told you.
Don't they have? I know they do in like Quebec. They have like police to make sure you can't get rid of the French. Maybe one of them is here right now. Like, wait. French has to be the dominant language on this keyboard.
You just like start typing like in Google, like how do I remove this language, and then some SWAT team just like blows through your door.
You can't even type it though because you're in French.
They can feel the struggle of you trying to type on that keyboard. You're like, this isn't right. Hold up.
All right, guys, here we go. We have Theory in the top right, playing as Infernal, and down in the bottom left, it is the Vanguard from Nightmare.
And it is the Infernals from Theory, not the Celestials that we saw earlier. So he's playing 2 races in this tournament, which is kind of insane.
He's playing Infernals against everybody else, and he's playing Celestials against Parting.
Yeah, it's specifically just against Parting. You know, when you're trying to specify your race, right, you might be like, oh, yeah, I play, TVP, but PVT, right? Something like that. Like, I play Terran, but PVT. Here, it's like he plays Infernal, but he plays VVP.
I actually wonder how the rule
Whatever.
set...
It was CVP. Damn. Never mind. I'm going to be quiet for a little bit now.
I wonder how the rule sets are eventually going to evolve here in Stormgate, because I know there was some period where in GSL they didn't allow changing race within series or even within maps. You had to basically declare your race at the start of the tournament and play it all the way through. That wasn't really an issue until Raynor tried race switching in his first ever GSL Code S debut.
Yeah, actually, I feel like StarCraft 2 got really bogged down with rules at one point, if that makes sense. And I would like to see like a little bit more flexibility with Stormgate, where TOs are like, yeah, you want to play random? Okay, you want to switch your race in the middle of it? Fine. Like, you'll have to have like kind of some rule, like the order of race choosing, that type of thing.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be blind pick if both players are going to choose their race before a map, right?
Yeah, that would make sense, a blind pick, yeah.
As long as the loser gets to counterpick their race, then I think it's fine, right?
Well, or if it's both blind pick, I think that's fine as well.
Oh, for the first game, it has to be blind pick, right?
I would just say blind pick all the way through.
Yeah, you could blind pick all the way through. Because if it's all counter picks going down, that would actually become kind of silly.
Even if it's losing, because then say one matchup for whatever reason during one patch is going to be super imbalanced, like Celestial versus Vanguard kind of seems to be here this early on in the current build. Then eventually, like, say somebody loses a map, then as soon as you go into the next one, the loser's just going to counter pick immediately, right? So it would just be this weird back and forth, I think, if you didn't go for blind picks.
But again, if you blind pick and the winner gets a race advantage by choosing a different race, that's also kind of weird.
It is, but at least it's fair. I mean, you're blind picking, right? There's no...
Yeah.
The only metagame that's happening is mental.
We don't need to give too much help to the guy losing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're losing for a reason. They probably deserve it. They should have practiced harder.
Yeah.
Chose a better race.
Just be better.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, we did see a Gaunt opening from Theory, and Nightmare went for that 1-Rax Lancer expand here. Theory getting his own base. These Lancers can put a bit of pressure onto the Infernal in the early game. They kite Fiends pretty well. If they get on top of Gaunts, they kind of shred them. So you have to be a little bit careful here, and the Vanguard will have map control for a little bit. And you used to be able to take a lot of camps with just a few Lancers, but in this current patch, the creeps are much stronger. So I'm not actually sure how many you need before you can start taking some of these resource camps here. We do see him going for gas now. He's up to 4 on gas. We'll have to see if he's going to go for Exos or if he has something else planned. I think that's like the current kind of meta build as Vanguard versus Infernal. You get out a ton of Exos in the mid game, add in your med techs, and then you can choose whether or not to add tanks later on. But that seems like the ideal comp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Kiwin was saying on the casting desk earlier on today.
It just seems like the amount of micro ability you have with Exos is just so strong, and like their range is also pretty decent. It's just generally a good army comp to have, and then, like you said, having the Atlases afterwards just gives you that extra bit of splash damage too once the Infernal army starts to just get way too big.
Yeah. The amount of damage that Atlases can put out against like a mass of Gaunts is pretty crazy. They just
It's
melt.
insane. And you also need something to deal with the range of the Hellborn, right?
Yeah.
Because if you get like a ton of Hellborn and you only have Exos, like without Atlases to kind of keep them at bay, they can chip away at your army for free, basically. So we do see Theory took his Luminite camp and is now pressuring this Vision camp. He'd love to get a bit of map control here. I think Nightmare's taking his third base down there at the 6 o'clock, right? Yeah. So setting up for a macro game here, 3 base play. Does have the Biolab on the way, so probably will see Exos here in a minute.
Yeah, I feel like the big mistake that Clem made in his games earlier on playing Vanguard versus Infernals was the slowness of his Exo transition. So Nightmare going a little bit faster here in the Exos. And also I think the third base pretty quick here for Nightmare compared to the Vanguard versus Infernal matches that we've seen before. Now, Theory does have his greater
Shrine.
Yeah, Greater Shrine. I think you almost called it a hatchery. A laser's poisoning my mind for a moment there. The Greater Shrine coming in. So we will have some more upgrades coming through for these Gaunts, and potentially another timing could be in the cards here for Theory should he decide to go for the Flaming Imps.
Yeah, those on fire imps. Like, if you have too many Lancers that are still sitting around, you got to be careful about that because it makes that timing so strong if you put a ton of money into that. But it feels like he hasn't put as much as we saw from Clem, right?
Yeah, I feel like the Lancer ball is a little bit more timid here for Nightmare. The Exo transition should help him.
Yeah, we do see the Reaper's Rush ability being upgraded here for the Gaunts, which gives them like insane movement speed. I forgot the percent, but it's a lot. So they will be zooming around, kind of kiting everything once they get that. And I know Theory really likes the Harbinger Gaunt drops, so we may see those from him at some point. I don't know if he wants to add like Magmadons or Hellborns in first, but that could be some harassment for him in the late game. And he also really likes Imp run-bys. Like, he's really good at getting those in your mineral lines or bob lines. And doing some
run-bys or Imp?
Imps.
Oh, okay.
I seem to like flaming Imp, like harassment and stuff.
I've seen people trying that. I felt like when I've seen it, it's been that as effective as I thought it would be.
Yeah, it used to be better, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how good it is on the current patch, but we'll see.
It also feels like the Gaunt drop stuff is not as common as before.
Well, the Harbinger's on the Shrine now, not the Shrine, the Spire now, right?
Oh,
whereas it used to
so
be just on the Conclave.
That's right.
So you get it much later than before.
It's still good, though. I still think it's good.
Yeah.
All right, well, he's going to try to attack into the third base here with his giant Gaunt army. Tries to go, kills off the turret. The Lancer Exo army is doing a pretty decent job because these Lancers aren't really dying. A couple of Fiends coming from the back end, though, to start distracting the Exos, but
and here are those Imps.
Barely not enough, but then a couple more Gaunts coming from the top here, but then promoting some of those Exos, giving them a couple of bit of extra damage and other stats here, but there's so many Gaunts out of nowhere now.
Dude, there's so many Imps waiting on the side, too. I think he's just dead from this timing here.
Doesn't even need the Imps.
Kind of similar to what we saw from a laser.
I think he had to overcharge here and use the bobs as well, but it was a really sick imp.
Those imps are just standing there so ominously right now.
He's just standing there menacingly.
GG.
Wow. Oh, man. The fact that Theory was able to make that push work without even tapping into the Flaming Imps is kind of crazy to me.
That's scary.
Yeah, here is Nightmare. I mean, he made the extra transition come in faster, but maybe Kiwian was right about the faster Atlas being kind of a necessity to hold off against these timing pushes.
He was trying to sell us on that pretty hard.
Yeah.
I honestly wasn't really having it. I'm like, Exos are pretty good, Kiwian. I know you're better, but like,
Can you even get out an Atlas in that to deal with that timing? It feels too quick.
No, you could get it.
I think you could get it. Yeah.
But you'd have like
but you wouldn't
nothing
have any
else,
units,
right?
I feel. Yeah.
Do you really need
What if you went
that
2-base
much?
mech bay?
Oh, 2-base.
Oh.
Yeah, and take your third as you're making your Atlas.
Oh, okay. If you get the tanks first, then yeah, sure.
But then also at that point, can't you just scout that as the Infernal and just be like, okay, I'm just not going to attack?
Well, yeah, but that's at least then the Vanguard doesn't die to the attack.
Sure, but then you're also then kind of just giving up all your map control, I guess, as well, is the thing.
Yeah, so you're saying playing 2-base tank is better than playing like quick 3-base.
Yeah.
And dying.
Exos.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, at least you don't die. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I still wonder if there's a more aggressive option. Like, I know kind of talked about it too much in the previous one, but like Kiwian's old build of getting the Lancer upgrade and just like kind of going ham with them on the gaunts, like dive before Flameon's done. And then like if the gaunt amount is low enough, then you can probably get into the Exos and be okay. But I don't know. It's an idea.
Also, because you can get, if you go in for the super fast Lancers upgrade, then you're getting in before the Gaunt upgrade finishes for their speed as well.
Oh, if they don't have the speed upgrade,
so then you can being able to actually
trashed.
dive onto the Gaunt lines is the big thing, I think.
Yeah, and they don't have the Harbinger drops anymore either. Like when you used to do the Lancer push,
That's
they would
right.
actually counter Harbinger drop and do damage to your eco back home. But you won't have to worry about that if you hit that Lancer time in the current patch.
Yeah.
True.
I actually hadn't even put that together, but you're completely right about that because that was. Yeah, that was when Artosis started playing a little bit less Stormgate.
Does Nightmare
Harbinger,
even know?
well, Doombringer or whatever.
I was playing Infernals back then. I started playing way more.
Oh yeah, no, I know. So when I was watching
fun.
streams, I saw a lot of Infernal versus Infernal, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll see if Nightmare decides to mix it up a little bit. Kiwian was also trying to sell us quite hard on the command post first opening here, coming from Vanguard, and so far I feel like we haven't really seen it that much in this matchup, but I would not mind Nightmare
I don't
mixing
see
it
why
up.
not.
Especially on a map like this. It's the biggest map in the pool.
Yeah. What's the Hexen gonna come get you? Oh, I'm so scared.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, the floating skull. Oh, it
oh,
half
look at that.
damaged my
50
bob.
damage. Oh, do you want to? Yeah, no, I'm gonna repair it.
Yeah, it used to be like a little bit scary against the Vault Conclave openers, but now most people are going like one build in Shrine, right?
Oh, does he have this mapped out where he can actually... Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, he did it for the
Double
Fiend.
skull gets a fiend.
Ah, dude.
Laser was talking about that as well. If you have a speed camp nearby, you just double skull, get the fiend, go scout everything.
That's cool. That's cool.
Is this command post first actually coming in from Nightmare too?
It is
Good
indeed.
to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets to
And-
harass it lightly. Oh, look, he's bringing the Hexen.
Yeah.
Pops are so tanky, man.
Yeah, that overcharge is actually so crazy. So good.
You need
Look
it,
at this
man. They
mob
don't
go.
throw fireballs like their opponents' workers, right?
Yeah, man.
They don't fly and literally kill the strongest race in the game by themselves. Okay? So, like, you got to do something with them.
Hey, the prisms don't hurt anybody. The prisms are
That's
cute,
true.
man.
Yeah,
they're
no,
just
they're-
hanging out. They're
they're-
the only innocent celestial unit.
Yeah.
You know who really impressed me with their Hexen use was Moon. I think he got like so much done with his.
Dude, I loved the mass, like, Venom traps.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, that was
so
really cool.
That was super cool. That actually made me want to play Infernal again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that until I saw one Lancer run through like 5.
Oh,
I
really?
just face tanked them all, and I
yeah.
was like, oh, wait a minute.
That's true.
Oh.
That's true.
I didn't know the interaction was that beneficial to the
Lancers are
Lancers.
tanky, man, but
Yeah, dude.
it was a cool
Lancers
style.
just don't die.
I like the idea, though.
Yeah, the traps are cool. It's very War 3-esque. Reminds me of Stasis traps all the way back in the day with the...
Just traps in general, you know?
Yeah, traps are fun.
Like any
I do
sort
like
of trap.
yes.
And like
Yes.
any RTS game, like
That's true,
Burrowed
yeah.
Banelings,
Yeah.
Stasis traps,
Great
Stasis
macro
Ward.
player.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Indiana
Sick
Jones,
multitasking.
great movies.
So is he going to go into Exos, or is he going to go...
No, he's going to, yeah, Exos,
Three
I mean,
Barons.
sorry,
3
yeah.
barrels
Yeah,
with
it's
no
3
biolab?
barrels.
No, he has to be making the bioconnect.
Does he have
Is
a
it in the
biolab?
main base? Where's the biolab? He doesn't have
He's
one
not
yet.
a biolab. Is this going to be
Oh.
like Mass Lancer?
Mass Dog?
But you need the
No.
upgrade, right?
You need the bio.
Yeah,
If you're doing either of them, you need Biokinetic Slab.
Yeah.
He's getting the tier 2 upgrade for the command post right now. Wait, what?
Mass Med Tech.
We've broken the meta.
I guess he's going to add the biolab just as the tier 2
Sentry
upgrade
post?
finishes to get a tier 2 upgrade.
Does he just have this mapped out
Is he
really
forgetting
nicely?
it? Or, like, this is actually confusing me now. I don't actually know.
Yeah, I'm a little perplexed. What is he actually making out of the barracks?
Dude,
is
let's
it
just rush to
Lancers?
Ravens. Let's go.
Yeah, it is Lancers. Is this going to
Okay.
be
Yeah.
upgraded Lancers maybe?
Dude, well,
But the
if you-
biolab, you're going
If
to
you
need
went
it soon.
Mass Lancer with their upgrade, man, maybe you can reduce the gaunt count and be okay.
Yeah.
Like, I think Lancers are okay. There, he
Okay.
finally starts
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I guess he's
The
just
thing
got it
is,
mapped
tier
out
2
really
takes
nicely.
60 seconds now, right? So if you want to get a tier 2 upgrade, this is the timing to get the biolab,
Yeah.
I guess. If you want to go Exos instantly, you want it earlier. But if you want to get the Lancer upgrade, it makes sense to get
Got
it
you.
as you're teching up, I guess.
That makes sense. Yeah. So that's well mapped out. I like it, and I hope that that's what he goes for. I'd like to, like the Lancer is it feels like a very solid early game unit.
Yeah, kinetic redirection. That's the Lancer upgrade.
Yep. There you go.
Very nice. So he's going 3 Rex Lancer. Slightly less economic than his build last game, where he got that early 3rd CC. So he's going to have a bit more pressure in the mid game here, and maybe be able to push Theory back before he can do one of these strong timings.
Yeah, and the fact this is coming off of a command post first with a 4th barracks coming through.
Yeah.
It's going to be so many Lancers.
His transition will be awesome too, right? Because I think what you do is you make Lancers until basically you have the upgrade and you get across the map. And then you can just start your Exo production and just like trade aggressively and go into Exos and a couple med techs. You're going to be feeling great.
Yeah, this feels like a much better approach than what we've seen from both Nightmare and Clem in this matchup so far today. Because the early Lancers really haven't been getting that much done.
Yeah, the Gaunt movement speed upgrade on the way as well. So both of them going to have their kind of core upgrades here online shortly. I think the Gaunts can get away from the Lancers and should be able to kite. Well, the thing is, if you kite them, they'll actually get faster, right? And they might get on top of you.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll have to see how this goes.
You could turn and dive on imps or a building or something, and then they'll have to come up and attack you, and then you get your speed upgrade, and you can kind of just back and forth. Because they're so tanky, gauntlets actually take a really long time to kill them.
Yeah.
So they're going to give them a ton of speed up.
Yeah, this is actually quite a scary timing coming out here for Nightmare. He's kind of oohing and ahhing around here. Oh my god, is he going to catch the Gaunts?
He might.
Oh my god, they just happen upon each other in the middle here. Unfortunately for him, he's not quite diving onto the Gaunt there. He got stuck by a couple of the Fiends, but will eventually start to get there. I'm actually kind of surprised. Oh, yeah, he has to get damaged by it, right?
Yeah, he's doing a good job of actually not hitting the Lancers, which sounds weird, but if you hit them, they'll speed up and get on top of you. This is like
counterintuitive to how this should work normally, but we'll try to dive onto it now that his own speed upgrade is finished here. It's going to start to kite away from them, but you can just see that the Lancers are so beefy. They don't actually die, and the speed buff that they get is also still pretty good to be able to chase down these speed upgraded Gaunts.
Yeah, veterancy also coming through on 3 of these Lancers. Is Nightmare pushing it a bit here into the natural expansion of Theory, but with that tower set up, he is going to back off here to the base of the ramp. Now Theory trying his best to get as much value as he can here with these Gaunts kiting back and forth. Man, these Lancers so tanky. So many of them on low HP. I think Nightmare is probably going to go back home. Actually, wow, look at this. Theory catching a couple of Lancers a little bit misrallied here to the front.
Dude, Theory played this very, very well. The fact that he refused to shoot them and he just ate hits until he had his speed upgrade as well as his Fiends coming in to tank some damage. That was really, really, really well done.
Yeah, if he had panicked in that moment and fired a couple of shots off, it would have been so bad for him. But once again, these armies clashing here in the middle of the map. Those Lancers, although they're low on HP, doing a good job of standing up here. Flaming Imps, are they ready to pop just yet? Is the upgrade complete? Yes, it is coming in. Big connection on the Lancers on the bottom side. And that should be Theory eventually cleaning this one up.
Now, I think Theory did a great job here, obviously, but we actually have at least 1 sentry post at home, and we have, like, does he have a snipe cannon? Oh, he does. Look at that. 2 buzzsaw cannons. He's going to make a 3rd. You're not breaking that. You're not breaking that. Like, this is, I really like how Nightmare's playing. Like, it hasn't worked, but he has a lot of really good ideas here. He's defending well. He's not just going to die to an instant counterattack.
Yeah, he should have time to get his Exo count up.
Yeah, I think so. He's gonna get a good, solid army. He's got plenty of defense. Like, yeah, in this type of situation, you know that your opponent has that strong timing. Have the triple sentry post ready, and he does, as well as the habitat shield.
So the problem here, though, is that his 3rd is so late,
right.
And when does he actually find an opportunity to take that 3rd safely? There's also there was also a Spire getting thrown down from Theory, I think. The fact that I'm assuming that's going to be for drops as well, right? So,
I would imagine.
So we're going to start to get Gaunt drops in here now, too. I feel like it's going to be really hard for Nightmare to ever actually expand to a 3rd at this point.
Yeah, if you want to go like Spriggans, for example, you need multiple Spires, right? So if there's just the 1 coming up, that's going to be for drops. Can we look at Nightmare's 3rd base real quick? Like he...
Theories?
I was saying, I saw there was a unit down there, but it's actually a Fiend. I thought it might be Bob's, but no. So he's very far behind the longer this game goes on, right?
Well, he certainly needs that other base. But, like, you know, if he grows up to the critical mass he needs, he's going to get more cost efficient. And, you know, who needs more bases is based a lot off of army efficiency. So, like, maybe he's building into a situation where he'll be all right.
Well, Theory with this Magmadon can be able to break through the tree's posture a little bit here and then peel back, forcing a response out of Nightmare. Now, look at this tower. Nightmare should be able to catch wind of this movement a little bit here. I am concerned if Theory decides to just completely dive on the natural expansion. He might be able to take out at least one of these towers before Nightmare can get back into position, but it seems like that is not going to be the case.
A Hornet transition is
Yeah.
very strange to me.
Yeah.
I've got to think that's for anti-drops.
Oh,
that makes
yeah,
sense.
right.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't think
true,
he's
true,
going to
true.
try and harass with the Hornets.
Yep, yeah.
He'd probably just make one, maybe two to put around his bases.
Yeah.
Just to stop that. Oh, it is rallied into these gaunts, though.
That is unlucky.
Oh, man.
Oh,
That's
dear.
brutal. That's brutal.
Oh, in theory, actually taking the middle of the map now. He's going to have access to all this gas, and Nightmare stuck on 2 bases still is going to have to do something here. Like, you can't just sit back against the 3 base, you know, Infernal forever, right? You got to try and make something happen here, like Kite with Exos or something. He is moving out. Theory's on the high ground here, loading up the drop. Is that another Exo or was that a scan? Sorry, is that a Hornet or a scan? Yeah, so scan goes across, maybe a little bit in the dark. Not sure what he's up against here. But the drop's going to go to the main, I guess.
Oh, he's got Magmadon in there, too.
Oh, man,
He's
that's
gonna
going
do
to
some
shred
stompy
workers.
drums.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is potentially really
hold on
good,
a
but-
second. Actually, the Fiends luring the Exos here into the Harbinger. Now, they're going to be able to get some damage done. It's down to 100 HP. 1 or 2 more hits, and it will go down.
Oh my god, he didn't let anything
Doesn't
get
even
out.
unload.
So
Nice.
sick. That quick draw hustle, letting the Exos get on top of the Harbinger there. It's a big pick-off for Nightmare.
Wow, that was a Magmadon and like what, like 6 gaunts or something?
4 gaunts or
Four
something?
gaunts.
Yeah.
4 gaunts? Jeez, that was pretty good. I mean,
That is
that'll
a
definitely
nice
help
catch.
him get back into this a little bit, give him some breathing room, but take a 3rd base and
Well,
maybe...
he's
Wow.
still down a lot of supply. I am getting a little bit nervous because Theory, like, there hasn't been any pressure on Theory since the initial push of the Lancers, right? And taking the center there, I don't know what he wants to buy with this stuff, but it's anything.
Whatever you want, right?
Yeah. Like, we could see Mass Hellborns coming out. We could see, you know, he could go Spriggan, I guess. Like, honestly, even if you made a big group of Spriggans, you could fly it around the side and just counterattack as your opponent tries to move. And how is he ever going to get enough to deal with all that?
Well, he just spends a ton of money, so I wonder what Theory's macro actually is going to be producing here at this
Yeah,
point.
look at that 150 to 99 supply. Hellborns.
Yeah, a lot of Hellborns.
Yeah, I mean, I like Hellborns in this matchup. I think they're very, very good.
Yeah,
Give you some sort of answer against the Exos.
The range is just so hard to deal with unless you have later tech from the Vanguard, I feel like. Or at least you just have such a giant Exo ball that you just like blast through the front line and then can get back behind them. Or if you can actually get a flank. I feel like the Hellborns, once you actually get around them, are also just super weak.
Oh, yeah.
So if you get a nice flank off and then you have a bunch of Exos coming in from the back, then you can just start to snipe the Hellborns and it gets super good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Nightmare still doesn't have any splash damage, right? It's just almost pure Exo with
Yeah.
Yes.
one med
Yeah, in
tech and a
fact-
couple of Lancers. This is looking really scary. He does not have a lot on the
Yeah.
map.
The one thing he
No.
does have going for him, he's already tier 3 with the tier 3 Lancer upgrade. So they will be super tanky. And he's added in medtechs now. I guess he'll be going for the master training at some point. But Theory's already taken a 4th base here. Yeah, there's the first medtech upgrade, which allows them to use the Nano Swarm, right? So we're gonna have to see what he wants to go into here, because I feel like you have to add something at some point. Medtech Lancer Exo is actually a really good army, but eventually some Alices are nice. But the real problem here is this big army with the flayed dragon coming out as well. This is so much Inferno, and he even drops the effigy to get that white health root. Ooh.
Yeah, it just stands and eats that. So you've got to be very, very careful. Backs up quite a bit. You can see, dude, there was the Lancers and the shields is just like, nope, we are
That's
not going to die. Sorry about
insane.
that. Not happening.
Oh my god.
They're
Backs
so
up. All right.
tanky.
Doing a reasonable job here as far as the defense go. Does have the double tower here. No shields for them, unfortunately, so they're going to be picked off in a matter of seconds. Tries to repair for a second there.
Oh, here's Miasma, right? The tier 3 Hexen ability.
Yeah.
Oh, sick. I don't think I've seen that yet in this patch.
Oh my god.
Well, somehow Nightmare is barely holding on here in the bottom right, with a lot of bobs falling on the left. And now finally the Fiends connecting
oh
on top
my
of the
God.
Medtechs and the Exos. I think this might be the
Yeah.
breaking point. Theory finally busting through.
Dude, the snowball is crazy once the Fiend Infest starts to actually start going. Like,
Yeah, they just
it like
explode.
looks like for a second, like the fight's like, oh my god, he's kind of holding on. This is crazy. But then the Fiends just start popping. It's like, oh my god, it's an insane snowball.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. The snowball of those Fiends standing on top. It's like it's too many targets for him to deal with. You know, you're playing with the Exos. You really, it's like you need to be gaining value with all their shots. And if Fiends just start spawning everywhere and getting in your way, it's like, that's it.
Yeah, indeed. I think Theory played that really well, recognizing that Nightmare was staying on 2 bases. So instead of like committing to imp timings, he did kind of go for it, but then he saw he was just on 2 base. He backed off, he took a 3rd, he took a 4th, he teched up. He said, okay, you want to stay on 2 bases? That's fine, I'll just macro up, right? Get my Dragon, get my Magmadons, Hellborns, everything that you need. Even even the Master upgrade for the Hexens coming out for the Miasma. Really sick macro game by Theory.
Yeah. It seems like Theory really just kind of understands how Infernals work in later games. I mean, we saw it versus Miggy as well with the very late game stalled out, like just making sure that I definitely get my giant death ball kind of strat here as well. Just knows how to maneuver the late game stages to just have all the really good units, knows when his power spikes are, gets the dragon out, and then just goes, basically.
And he was able to navigate there so well, too. I mean, I don't think Nightmare could have had any more Lancers than he did when he hit with that timing attack.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, the upgrade timing was on point. It was after a command post first, so it's basically as much Luminite as you're possibly going to get there as Vanguard. And despite that fact, I mean, Theory showed some really great nerve under pressure. You know, he identified the situation. He knew if he engaged and allowed those Lancers to actually chase down, it would have been hugely problematic for him. He peeled back. He didn't take too much damage against anything and was able to basically survive from that point and then snowball with macro.
Yeah, it really seems like Theory knows everything about this position, basically. So I do want to see something a little bit different here coming up from Nightmare, whether that's quicker Exos or possibly getting into some other tech. And then backtracking into the Exos, that could be fine as well. But definitely not. Like, I was excited for that Lancer stuff. I'm like, yeah, this actually, this in my head, the theory behind this looks very good, but Theory just played way too well against it. Just crossed his T's, dotted his I's, dominated.
You could say that the Theory did look very good in that, then.
Hey.
In fact, I did.
As in Theory 1.
Yes, we get it.
Okay.
All right.
Can you explain it a little bit more, Gemini?
What exactly did you mean?
That's fine.
Oh, man.
Well, command post first here again for Nightmare. Hexen going to be wailing on one of these bombs. I get some damage done, and there is a Brute coming across the map. He's actually not splitting that into Fiend, so it's waddling all the way over.
Kind of interesting. Theory wants to put a lot of pressure on this game, right? Putting down that Iron Vault a little bit lower, a little bit closer.
Yeah, this map, like, there's a huge ramp to get into the main, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not so easy to defend both mineral lines. Sometimes the Infernals can just walk up into the main. Or they can, like, hit the natural mineral line if they've gone to whatever. So I'm curious what Theory's going to do here. He is going to take a natural here, I'm guessing.
Was that dog low HP? Did
Yeah,
Theory
yeah,
just
he
move?
stole it.
He just moved it to steal the HP heal from the Scout. That is a pretty sick move, actually, coming out from Theory, because now the dog cannot assist at all in Theory with this Brute, and the Hexen going to be able to start wailing away on these bombs. Excuse me.
Dude, yeah, Theory's like understanding what's going on.
Oh, sick. And the Lancer coming out soon, so Nightmare will be able to push this back. I don't think he's taking too much damage here. Nothing he can recover from, and he'll be able to start macroing up. Theory, of course, does have his own shrine, so not all in or anything. We'll be able to keep making workers. Another Brute coming in now, though. Yeah. And they're actually doing a decent amount of damage on this Lancer.
That Lancer already at half HP. It's taking a lot of damage.
I mean, the Hexen staying alive as well is pretty huge, though, for Theory. Nice micro from him to be able to keep that alive. Could potentially get another Skull out, and that would actually potentially even kill this Lancer. It's got really low HP. The second one does pop out, though, so that's going to really help him to defend against this. So he does need to still keep this alive, though, because otherwise things are going to snowball potentially. Just barely keeps alive with 6 HP.
Oh, no, he doesn't! The bomb betrayed him!
What?
The bomb betrayed him!
That was cute. I like that. So he sent his own Bob to kill that off so it wouldn't turn into a Fiend.
Oh, I was like, what the?
Yeah.
I was like,
At first, I'm like, does he know that that's not a mechanical unit?
You see it just wailing
Nightmare,
away.
you should know that you can't repair that, right? It's
It's
a reverse repair. Oh, man, one of his Bobs goes down.
Oh, the Hexen's going to fall, too.
oh.
Okay.
Yeah, he is picking up some units here, but he's losing a lot of mining time, even a Bob there. So this is doing like a lot of indirect damage to his economy.
But his shrine at home is done.
Right, he's just macroing up.
I'm wondering actually who is ahead in this position.
wow.
Oh, is Nightmare just going to take a third?
Yeah,
wow.
gonna
I
take
like
that
this
third, but-
decision
yes.
quite a bit.
Wait, he only has 100
100%.
Luminite though.
Oh, yeah, it's probably already queued up.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Hacker.
Yeah, no, that is a really good idea.
I forgot about that.
No, that's a good idea because I mean, you just know that your opponent just puts so much effort into attacking you that they have to have this recoup period.
Yeah.
Right. They can't just keep going with like endless waves or whatever unless they're just going to be totally all in or whatever. But yeah, going for the CP in the middle of that is a good play.
Real high-level decision, actually, when you think about it. Like, across any RTS that you look at, if you're in a spot like that where you hold this crazy situation, then you expand when it's done, that shows high-level understanding.
And with Vanguard too, you can make those CPs so fast with the power building. It's like it's like an instant boost. It's not even like you're like barely sacrificing anything because you can just start mining off of it so quickly.
Yeah, and this shrine starts basically as the third base is finishing for Nightmare. It's already finished, so I think this is probably one of the better positions he's been in throughout this set.
For absolutely.
Like, he's looking good here. He's got his tier 2 on the way. We'll have to see what he wants to go into. I'd love to see him just go into Exos now. Like, we've seen him try Lancers and stuff. I'd love to see him just go into, like, Exo Medtech, add in tanks, and just try to hold whatever theory he's going to throw him, whether it is an in-push or drops or whatever.
Do you think that he needs to actually go Atlas quickly this time? Because I'm looking at the way the economy is balanced between the two players, and I feel like he can actually just go heavy Exo with a few med techs and go.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
There's
probably
definitely
like
like a
5
window in the
racks.
game when
Yeah.
like a lot of Exos is really strong,
Yeah.
and the Infernals don't have much to deal with them.
Yeah, I feel like if the Infernal is like ahead on the economy, then you might need to get those tanks a little bit quicker. But here it's like, no, I think you can actually. He's like basically even on economy with him. Like he's going to be able to just field a lot of Exos and utilize that ridiculous DPS.
Does Theory know that this base is down here yet? Is this going to be his first scout on it?
Does he still
He
not
doesn't.
know?
He still doesn't know. He's still not going to get dragged down there. Oh my God, he has no idea that base is there. Oh,
He's going to
Finally
Never mind.
now going to
Okay,
come
now
back
he's-
now.
I jinxed it. Caster curse.
There is a
gonna
Lancer
lose a
turret
barracks
here, which
there.
is going to do some damage. Use the shields.
How much does
Where's the
Nightmare
army
actually have
for
in the natural?
Nightmare?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. How much does he have in the natural expansion to actually deal with this?
It's
not
over
a
there.
lot yet. Not a lot.
I'm surprised actually that Theory is coming back away. I mean, one of these Lancers is following the army here into the speed camp and falling. That hurts a lot.
Yeah, I think Theory can actually just dive that turret because it does. It's like double damage to biological units, right? The Lancer turret. So it will actually dish out a ton of DP. He's going to try, though. The Bobs are being pulled for the repair.
Really
Very
good.
quick reaction there by Nightmare. And, oh, now I know why he was hiding. He was hiding these Lancers because he doesn't want to get caught here between the bases, right? If he just engages as he dives the turret, that's the perfect time for him. But if he gets caught out, he could actually lose those. So he's being super careful here and just trying to get out as many units as he can. This army's so fast, though, it's going to dive in.
Dude, it's so funny watching the war between trying to surround that and the Bobs trying to get up for the repairs.
Yeah.
Now, he does turn around really quickly here and catches these Lancers, but, oh, God. Up come the Bobs to try to help fight, and he's got to back up.
This pressure is just so heavy coming in from Theory, and the fact that he's able to snowball here.
Oh, what
With
are we
even
doing?
more Fiends coming in. Yeah, where is he going? He's trying
What's
to get
going on
What?
here?
What is
What?
this movement from Theory?
That had to be a misclick. I feel like
Yeah.
he just definitely didn't want to go there in that way, but
It worked.
it
though.
might end up working out. I mean, a couple
Is
more
it?
Lancers from the left side are not
yeah.
going to make this a little bit
trying to
awkward
turn.
I
here.
guess, yeah, barely.
Oh, he's just got so much. Now the Fiends start popping out as well. The Infest doing so good here. And I think this... Oh, is it actually swinging? I can't say.
I think there's just enough that once the Fiends start popping here on the Lancers,
The thing is,
be fine.
they
Man,
still
that could've
can't
gone
take the
shield on
turret
the
out there,
turret, though,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that could have gone so much better for Theory there.
Yeah. It looked like he was going to break him for a second, and then it's like, okay, we just stabilized this Nightmare.
Yeah, he was
and
like-
the Spy is actually pretty close. He's getting these Exos out here.
Yeah, Exo's changed like the dynamic here completely because as Theory, you can't just walk up for free anymore. You are going to take those Exo hits, and with the quick draw hustle upgrade, you can actually chase down units. But we see a ton of imps coming over for the 1-2. Is he going to flank with those at the Nat? Or are they?
I think they're just pathing into the center here. The pathing a little bit weird on this map.
Right, you have to go around,
Because
right?
it looks like
Yeah.
you can go through the middle somehow, but you can't. You can only
right.
go around the edges now.
I guess he still has the choice, but probably would just join them up with his main army, right? That's less risky. Twilight Spire coming out as well for those drops that he likes to do. He's got to join these imps up with his army, though. If they get caught out, that could be pretty bad.
Dude, the guns are just so fast right now. It's insane.
insane, yeah.
The fact that this tower is a speed
Oh, the
tower up
flank.
front as well is so good.
Uh-oh.
The Flame on Imps coming in from the back end as well, going onto the Exos. We'll be able to get everything there.
Oh.
Getting onto the Lancers as well. Everything getting evaporated, but the front line of Lancers still doing a pretty decent job until this Magmadon comes in.
Dude.
A nice split off, actually, but Nightmare is actually ahead in supply after all of this.
Nightmare's control there was wonderful. The splits against the Imps, and then he just split against the Magmadon as well.
That split was so
Really
fast.
That was
Really well
insane.
done. Really good
That looked like a
engagement here
micro
from
bot.
Nightmare.
Like, that was so fast.
Yeah.
It looked like he played that, the Terran, was it Marine Baneling map?
Yeah, the
custom
Marine
map?
Split Challenge.
Yeah, it looks like he's played like that for 1,000 hours. Like.
Yeah, this is a Protoss player, by the way. Protoss players are always skilled at everything.
I take it back. That was a terrible
This is a
split.
Heroes of the Storm player that plays Protoss in his off time and makes juice. So.
Oh, man, the pre-setup there from Nightmare was so good, too, because even should those Flame on Imps have gotten a better connection there on the left side, it still was only about half the forces of Nightmare. He had half the army down at the third, half of it set up at the natural expansion, and that set him up for such a great arc once the actual engagement took place there with Theory that Nightmare was able to weather the storm that has been fatal to Vanguard versus Infernal, and I think, 4 or 5 games in a row here at the Tasteless Showdown. So Nightmare now actually hitting a really big power spike. He's able to put the pressure back onto Theory. And I don't know if Theory's actually going to be able to hold on. He might need to actually transform some of these Imps into Flame-Ons if he wants to survive this one.
Yeah.
There is one Weaver out, actually 2 Weavers now entering the fray. Flame-On Imps trying to push Nightmare back.
Okay, pretty decent split right there. The MedTech's doing a great job to help keep his line healthy a little bit longer. More units coming up. Oh, turns around with the stomp and actually does pull back.
Yeah, these trades are so good for Nightmare because he does have the medtechs, he has the Exos which can kite, and there's not like a ton of Magmadons or Hellborns to worry about here. And that's when the Exos really shine, right? When they can pick off units for free like this. The Lancers are so tanky. As long as you don't get hit by these Imps, yeah, you can take an excellent trades, doing bonus damage to the Magmadon with the Exos, and Nightmare is starting to cut through this Infernal army right here.
Feels like these Weavers aren't even doing anything in the back either. I'm curious like what the thought is behind putting them even in the composition at all, because I feel like having more Magmadons would honestly be pretty decent to just kind of continue stomping through.
I generally
Yeah.
agree. I think the Weaver is cool, but I still don't get it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
every time I see it in an army, I'm like, should that be there?
But it's good against like high value units, right?
Yeah.
High
Yeah.
HP
But
But you're playing
units.
against Bio here.
Yeah, exactly. So that it doesn't make much sense, right? If you do the yoink, the yoink does 20% damage of the health pool. So like against the Exo or something, doesn't
Seems
seem to make much
silly.
sense. Yeah.
A really big hit there with the Imps, but still, Nightmare just has
But
so
every-
many Exos.
Yeah, every Infernal player I talk to is like, oh, it's awesome. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm watching.
It does
like
look really cool.
It's super cool looking.
I just feel like I never see it do anything.
You yoink
Yeah.
a Lancer and it's like, well, thanks, I'm a melee unit.
Yeah, like, thanks, dude.
I wanted to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you yoinked me onto the gaunts? Well, thank you. Like,
yeah, no problem, dude. All you.
yeah, it's looking like Nightmare just has a little bit too much here.
Yeah, Nightmare is putting out an excellent, excellent game this game. Like,
I love how he played this one.
and I gotta say, like watching a game like this, the games that look like this right now, these like closer macro games are beautiful. Like it gets me a little bit wiggly. It really makes me want to just go play.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy too because he looked like pretty dead at one point with the push coming with all those gaunts,
Yeah, it was
especially
a
with
bit
the
scary.
speed boosted tower as well. The fact that I think that the biggest play was on those saves on the turret.
Yeah.
The moves
If he
with
would
the
have lost,
bobs.
if that turret got surrounded, he was dead.
Yeah, he was so quick with it both times to
Yeah.
save it. It was like so critical.
It is so important. The Buzzsaw cannons, I think, are just such an integral part of this matchup.
Yeah, definitely. Doing that extra damage to biological units really helps against holding these pushes. And he
We
dealt
just
with the
need
imps
Kree
really
to be
well as well.
biological.
No, I think we're good.
It's going to be how we stop the Kree with Vanguard right there.
Well, Theory slowly bleeding out here. I don't actually think there is a path forward for him, even with the best Flame connections on these Exos. I mean, there's just so much here for Nightmare. It really shows that, you know, if Vanguard can survive that first storm, the big timing push that Theory's been trying to go for both in Game 1 and Game 2, and I guess here in Game 3 he tried it again, but if it fails, the Exos, once they get going with these medtechs, it's so much damage. And the amount of kiting, I don't really know what Theory does
This ball
with
gets
this
so efficient.
Well, you can't just fight it head on. You
Yeah.
need like a Magmadon flank or something
Yeah.
to get on top of the Exos.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
and-
they just kite you for days.
And
But
if
I'm
it is any
wondering-
sort of head-on, I think you need some Hellborns in there so that you
Exactly.
actually have consistent damage.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it's like the army that he had, well, he was a bit behind at that point, right? Like he
Yeah.
lost a lot of army. Like we had that one really fantastic engagement over between the natural and third base of Nightmare, and he kind of cleaned it up, and Theory never really came back from that.
Yeah, and sometimes we forget that attacking with flame imps is actually hurting your economy.
Yeah, I was gonna
like, that's
say,
not that's not like it looks free, but I guess it's not. It's pretty free, but if you blow up enough of them, it might hurt your economy a little bit. Let's say that.
Yeah, I mean, all these timing pushes, it's about 8+ imps that are coming out
Right.
for these Inferno players. And if you go into a Game 3 like that one where economically you're even or maybe even at a disadvantage as Inferno's going up against the Vanguard who's been playing very greedy and surviving through it, then suddenly you don't really have the resources to get the Magmadons that you need for the flank to actually deal with the Exos or have enough units on the map just to even really withstand them pushing into your third base or your fourth base. And so I wonder if Theory is going to adjust from this one, because I think if you go for those timing attacks and you don't get the fatal blow, it's really hard to survive against the follow-up push with the Exos. I mean, the power spike hits so fast for Vanguard immediately after deflecting that push.
Definitely. He did try the slightly different opening that game, Theory. He did the Hexen Brute push, right? Whereas the previous game, he went for the Gaunt opening, so maybe we'll see him go back to that this game. I think that...
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You sounded like you wanted to...
I don't think you're right.
Actually,
but, I'm
he's
not
going
gonna
to
explain
open
myself.
Fiends. Like...
I was actually just going to say it's going to be Celestial Maw coming up.
Oh. Well, yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, but no.
But they actually
Wow.
play their correct
Wow.
I
places.
got a handshake
God.
agreement. They take off the headsets. They're like, I won't do it if you don't do it.
Okay,
Okay,
they literally just like look at each other like.
I had this feeling it was going to be the map and it was going to ruin all your guys' conversations. So I wanted to cut you guys off and ruin your day, but no, I guess we're going to actually. I don't know what this is going to look like right now.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised Theory didn't play Celestials, to be honest. Like,
I'm genuinely
in the
curious.
losers
It
bracket,
might-
like...
this might actually just be
But
a
Celestial
handshake
is
agreement.
like there's more of a chance to stop it with Vanguard, anyways, right?
True, yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Kiwian
yeah,
did a
yeah,
great
yeah,
job
yeah.
of it
Yeah.
before.
He still died to it, though.
He did, but I mean, if that Exo had gotten into the bunker and
It
actually
did get in the
survived,
bunker, but it was bugged,
yeah,
right?
I mean,
So,
Well, no, it didn't actually go in. Isn't that the thing? Kiwian like looked back at the replay.
it was like the
And
game
he was
tick
like,
that was
oh,
entered.
he
Sorry,
said
my-
bug, so I thought it was that bug.
No,
that
no,
they
in the
go
moment.
they
In
still
the moment,
died.
but then he went back and looked at the replay, and then he's like,
It didn't
I just
actually
didn't.
go.
I didn't get in. Sorry.
The thing is, I think if it looks like it's going in, like the same game tick where it dies, the bunker is still going to go through the animation where it transforms. And
Interesting.
so we all just kind of got duped.
Yeah.
Well, he duped us. He said bugs.
Yeah, he did too,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah,
even if
yeah.
he hadn't said bug, I mean, I was pretty sure the Exo
Yeah,
made it
yeah,
into the
yeah.
bunker just because of the animation.
It looked
but-
like it, right? Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
even though it didn't make it, it seemed like Kiwian was able to pull it off.
Right.
You know, I mean, you're like a couple of game ticks away from making that defense actually work. There's Kiwian.
Definitely. And we see Theory going back into this Conclave Gaunt opening here, getting the Ritual Chamber. So I think we'll see something more similar to the previous games, to the last game. I don't know if there's some kind of sick, like, siege camp push you can do now on this map, because the camp's really strong, right?
Yeah.
That was the old meta. The Infernals would take that camp really quickly. But now that camp hits hard. Like, you can't take that with just a few units
There's the
anymore.
old Noni build where he Shroudstone rushes the two turrets on one base and then uses all the fiends to kill them, and then you just have a huge fiend double siege tower push off one base.
Did Noni do that first? I remember doing that in the meta back a couple
that
betas
was like
ago.
that was like the only thing Noni did on that patch.
That's also the only thing that he did.
nice.
I feel like that's the only
The
thing that a
great
lot
American
of players
Protoss
did.
players
Yeah. Well, there was a period because we didn't have a map rotation back then,
Yeah, 'cause
right?
only Jagged
it was
Maw.
like a day. It was like a daily kind of
Yeah.
rotation. So we would only play on Jagged Maw, and that was when Gaunt also started with
Yeah.
Infest.
That
Oh,
actually, I
dude,
stopped
yeah.
playing after one day because of that.
I started playing way more.
Yeah, no, it got gross, man. It's like, oh my god.
I looked
Siege
at it-
camps come in with all those fiends, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what? So my turrets don't do anything, and yeah.
I feel like you literally could not defend with Vanguard a couple of
No,
days
it
ago
was
on that
so
map.
it was
Yeah,
so
it was
strong
rough,
because
yeah.
you're killing the camps and getting fiends from there while your Shroudstone is killing one of the first siege camps, and then you just get the other one with the rest of them. It's like, okay, sick.
Yeah, I feel like the best thing to do against that was just, like, Lancer all in or something. like.
yeah.
But here we do see Nightmare going for that quick third base again, right? And I wonder if Theory's going to try another imp timing against it like we saw in game 1. Because that looked pretty hard to stop. He is creeping these camps. Even these health camps are strong now. They like the early camps used to be pretty easy to take out, but they like hit hard now. It's
I actually prefer it this way. I don't know about you guys,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah. too.
watching players before like send the first Lancer and start attacking a camp, I'm like, what is the point of this exactly? Why don't we
Yeah.
just have the Lancer start with 20% less health and then we'll automatically have the camp? Isn't that sick? Like,
Yeah.
I like it being a little bit harder and you have to actually put some thought into taking it.
I hesitate now like to go for the camps at first in the beginning because like I feel like I'm just gonna lose my whole first army like if I don't actually have enough or whatever.
yeah. Or even your Kree army.
What was it? The Skull Squisher?
Dude,
yesterday?
that was
They
Dude, that
showed,
thing is
like
so
10 plus Kree.
10 Kree go down.
There he is.
There's the
boy.
big boy.
Legendary. How much damage does he actually do? Can we
He has
mouse over that?
2,000 HP.
2,000
damage,
HP, 30 damage. Oh, he's got double attack.
Range
That guy's
attack as
crazy.
well. Is that
Yeah, his
anti-air?
right hand
or-
and his left hand.
And then his butt.
Demolition fist.
And he's got these guns.
Yeah.
All right,
We got a
Nightmare.
fast third base out of Nightmare here.
Yeah, he's setting up that turret there as well.
Dude, if you can get away with stuff like this as Vanguard, Vanguard starts to feel really, really strong. You know, you
Right,
get that
yeah.
third base up and you don't get screwed by it. It's like, yeah, man. Look at
Where's
that.
his
Buzzsaw
arm?
cannon
Wow.
instantly.
Nice.
Oh,
The
but he
charge goes
actually...
down.
Oh, he gets the repair all the way. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, repair's busted,
Nightmare's
man.
on fire. Oh, God. Oh, my gosh.
Every RTS with repair, it's just always something crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's how you know there's justice in this world.
Does he have
Repair
turrets?
exists. We don't just throw away broken things. We fix them. This is the ingenuity of the human race, okay?
Be gone, consumerism.
This is what separates us from the apes.
Specifically the Protoss players.
For a moment, I was wondering whether Theory was going to try and go for this slightly more exposed buzzsaw turret here on the top side, but with Elantris coming in to assist, instead, Theory just kind of hang back. I mean, he does have basically every single camp on the map right now, except for the one all the way on the left side.
It's some aggressive play here from Theory as he comes up. Like,
It is.
I think Nightmare's okay, though. Like, his
yeah.
Buzzsaw turrets are well placed. He's got a good, solid army. He's got the 3 base. His production's going to get really big. And this is where Theory, I could see him messing up like he did in the previous game, where if this army goes down for Theory, Nightmare can run away with the game with Exo Medtech at that point.
Yeah, I really think he might. I mean, the fact that Theory is committing so many resources to this kind of low-tech army, if it doesn't get value sometime soon and Nightmare is able to hit his stride with the Exo transition in just a couple of minutes, we might have something very similar to what we saw in the last map.
And
Yeah.
then, I love the double Buzzsaw cannon setup there where the base is a little bit further from the barracks and everything. Everything about the way he's playing. Look at that. Yeah. Got the force field bunker thing. Like, let's go.
Yeah, Theory actually postured really aggressively there, but behind it, he's taken a 4th base. He's taken a shrine at the 2nd and 3rd gas. He got the Hexen Adept upgrade, and he's got a Spire on the way for drops. So he's like setting up for a very strong kind of mid-late game here. And he's going to be able to do some harassment with that drop with the close air distance. I really like his kind of choice of build here.
I wonder how much damage he's actually going to do, because obviously this map is pretty decent for drops since you're spawning so close to each other by air. So the Gaunt drops can be pretty good in this map. And I feel like also this game, he's hopefully not going to have it get sniped by a couple of Exos randomly finding the Harbinger either. So that will also be pretty good, I'm assuming. But, I mean, it's a lot of tech all coming out at exactly at the same time. So Theory does have some time where before all this actually does kick in, where he could be in a bit of trouble if Nightmare decides to just kind of walk on the map, because his army is getting pretty big, I feel like. His third base is definitely kicked in by now.
Is that a Hexen
What?
drop?
Yeah, what's he doing?
Oh my
Hexens
god,
in
he's going to Hexen drop?
What?
What does this
Whoa.
even
Look at the Hexen.
Oh, is
Wait,
he going to like miasma the line, like storm drops?
Either
The
that,
miasma?
or can you Venom? Do you Venom trap them? Do the Bobs activate the Venom traps?
I imagine they do. I don't know how much
think they
damage
do.
it does.
I don't think that that's it. Like,
This is strange.
Whatever it is, we're going to learn something new.
Yeah, let's see.
yeah, this
Never
is weird.
seen this
looking.
Dude, if this is
before.
miasma drops, it's going to be so
That
sick.
is going to be crazy.
I think it
my
is.
God.
It must be.
Let's see it.
Do it.
It is the Venom traps.
Oh, it is the Venom traps.
Oh,
You're right.
wow.
They're doing
yeah.
the little dance.
They're
like,
doing their
"Oh, go,
Venom
go, go."
dance.
Oh,
This drop looks so
Does that
funky. I've
kill the
never
buff?
seen this
Looks
before.
so-
Oh my god,
Oh.
they're at 10 HP!
Holy.
I think he did his math wrong there, guys.
Yeah. One more hit. Can you
You need
imagine
one
all the
more.
fiends popping if he was
Oh
able to make it
my
happen?
God.
oh.
But now he can't go back to mine them right
Yeah,
now.
that's
He has
true.
to wait for some suicide units to just go and tank them.
I was getting so hyped.
That was
and
so
then
strange.
All
That
the
was
mobs
super
survived.
strange.
It's even funnier because they do their little ooga booga.
Yeah. It's just like we're all
It's
waiting.
not like an immediate thing, so it's just like, what's going on here?
I wonder if he had one more Hexen with it, if he was actually able to make it work. Those were
Yeah.
only the 3 Hexens, right?
Yeah,
Right.
he
Maybe he's
actually
supposed to
had a
have
fourth
4.
that was behind the Harbinger that he
Yeah.
didn't. It looked like he clicked to pick it up, but clicked away too quick.
I think he might have meant to have 4 of them.
Yeah, I think so.
They're still there, though.
Everyone's done that before, man.
Like, they're still there, denying all that mine on the main base. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
this
still
is the
good.
big fight here, which is the important thing. This Vanguard army is still pretty scary. The Magmadon's coming in with some big stomps on the Lancers, though.
It's a better Vanguard army here than
yeah. Again, the Weavers.
Well, I mean,
Would
yeah,
you
I'm
prefer
not a
Hellborns?
huge fan of them. Yeah, I would. I think having 3-4 Hellborns in the back here would be doing a lot more.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
awful.
not
I
like
mean,
they're complete trash or something. It
Right.
just doesn't feel like they're actually contributing for their cost.
to be fair, they're super beefy right now in this front line, so
Right.
they're
Yeah.
not actually dying, and so they were actually kind of shaving them off a little bit. They're doing their little, their sand people dances again, trying to kill off these mobs.
I love the little Hexen dance.
Oh, they're actually
So
so
funny.
tanky.
Maybe this is the real benefit of getting the Weavers, is they just have so much white health they can just absorb this damage for the Gaunts on the
Yeah,
front
Maybe,
line.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're heavy, right, the Weaver? So
I
the
don't know.
Biological
They
light.
look
Oh,
heavy.
light.
They're
I was about
light.
to say the same thing.
Oh, so the
It's a light
Exos
unit.
don't do extra damage to them. That's interesting.
Even a lot of structures are light. That surprised me when I read the tags.
That's weird.
How is that
Wait,
unit
so
light?
what tag is the Weaver?
Biological light.
Yeah.
What?
That is a
Really?
light unit.
That's
What?
pretty shocking.
Guys,
What are we doing here? Well,
just
That's
look
not
at
light
Is it
unit.
full of hot air? Like
Maybe
what-
you have the bones of a
Does it have
bird.
hollow bones?
You have
Yeah.
the birds of a the bones of a bird.
It must. It must if it's light. Or what are we talking about?
okay, now this army of theories is starting to look real scary. As he gets into more and more Magmadons, the Flame Imps as well. Spreading some Shroud with the effigies is taken out though. And yeah, these Weavers are tanking a lot of shots.
It's got
allowing
150
the
white health.
Magmadons to get on top of the army. Even
Oh my
dropping
God.
the Harbinger there. Sick engagement here, but the Bible's still pretty strong. Like it still kites this army quite well.
Feels like he needs a little bit more in there. Like the battles are going quicker to Theory's side.
I want to see him do like a Magmadon drop flank on the Exo ball.
That would be sick.
I've seen someone try that before, like in like other patches or whatever, and it's actually the sickest thing. It looks so cool.
That would be awesome. I would love to see that.
Oh, nice abducts on the Exos right here to start things off. Big infest coming in too. Magmadon's going to try and stomp on all this bio, but Nightmare able to kite away in time. Is
Hey,
going to retreat back to this resource camp.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this. You can't lash your own units, can you?
You can. That's
You can?
The
Yeah, you can,
the
right?
Weaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it heals them.
Yeah.
So, but you can
They're
drag
white
it
health.
to you?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you could
You pull
put
it
the
back to
Weaver
you.
on the front line and like harpoon the Magmadon.
That's what I was
yeah,
thinking
yeah. Dude, yeah, you like
You
throw
drop
them
the
forward, and then
Weaver
you're like, come back!
behind his army, and it tanks super hard, and then you just pull a Magmadon through.
Yeah.
He's getting
Oh.
healed while dancing.
Pulling them to the front line, you mean?
Dude, yeah. What if you?
Yeah, so the Magmadons
Yeah.
are in the front, and you drop a Weaver behind, and then
Yeah,
Magmadon
dude.
through the army.
Oh my God,
That would
would
be
be
sick.
That
Somebody
would
go
be-
tell Theory to do this right now.
Yeah, dude.
Just slip him a note.
Yeah, dude.
A picture. Of the
Yeah, a diagram.
Little
Does anyone
diagram
have a
being
pen
pulled.
and paper? He can't read languages that
yeah,
quick.
with my drawing, later on it would come out. It's like, yeah, I don't know. You drew the weirdest picture and handed it to me.
I was a little
Give me a
offended,
picture of like
actually.
a dog. Like,
I don't know what he was trying. It was like, yeah.
There's a dinosaur. I don't know the
A
dinosaur.
dog with a very long tongue licking a rhinoceros. I thought it was inappropriate.
Here come the stomps from the Magmadons, cornering these Exos here between these buildings. I like this little Sim City area, though, as well. Making it
Honestly.
quite difficult for him to push through.
Honestly, the Weavers are actually getting so much done. It feels like once they reach this mass, they're so tanky. They just do not die.
Yeah.
And once you're able to abduct like a couple of Exos like this,
yeah, they're actually super useful as tanks here.
Yeah.
I wasn't seeing it in the beginning, but in the higher numbers, it actually starts to look really good. And Theory's supply getting out of control. Now this army is huge, spreading the Shroud as much as he can, chasing down kind of the last remnants of his Fireball.
those Magmadons.
Yeah, he's got this big flank coming here with the Fiends as well, going to jump on all these Exos. They try to run to the natural, but these forces are just thinning out here for Nightmare.
GG.
GG is cool. Wow.
Excellent series.
I really
This was
enjoyed
a
that.
very fun series to see.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and that eliminates Nightmare, right? So that's our last
Yeah.
Vanguard player is going to be out, or am I completely crazy?
no, I think you're right. Just Celestials and
Yeah,
Infernals
that's
that
right.
sometimes
Yes.
play
Yeah.
Celestials left.
Two
Yeah,
Infernals
yeah.
in the bottom bracket and two Celestials in the top bracket.
Yep.
Everything is right in the world. We're clearly establishing a hierarchy
Yeah,
here.
dude.
All the Vanguard players are out. All the Celestials
yeah.
are in the upper bracket.
The
all
Vanguard players did win a
Infernals
couple
lower.
games in the tournament, though.
Yeah, that
man.
is true.
And one of those was against another Vanguard.
Yeah.
That was one of our best series. In fact.
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
That was actually like the most entertaining series of the whole tournament.
Yeah. I love watching people with foam swords fight each other. So we're going to bring Theory over here for a quick little interview. We'll talk to him a little bit about his different plays there. That was a great series, though. I really did enjoy that. Some very good timing attacks. You can see that where him and a laser line up and where they don't on what they want to do. These on-fire timing attacks against the heavier Lancers seem good. I really like the speed of the command posts that we're seeing out of Nightmare by the end.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be really crucial, is knowing just how fast you can expand in Vanguard versus Infernal.
I felt like Nightmare was getting better as the series went on there
For
in
sure.
Game 3 and Game 4.
For sure.
Well, let's get the mic for you.
He's
You're ready to
ready.
talk directly into the top
Yeah,
of it?
you gotta get
You
them
gotta
with
make
your
sure they
head
can
this
hear
time.
you.
Yeah, nice.
Awesome. Am I
Okay.
Do I sound
Oh,
It's not on.
wait,
I
is this
Keep it
actually
right there.
Wait,
good?
yeah.
Sound good?
Can we
Test.
boost the volume
Hello,
a little
hello.
bit, maybe? He's talking into it. It's on.
Testing.
There
Oh,
you
there we
go.
go.
There he
Yeah,
is.
all right.
There he is.
Nice.
All right, congratulations. Very nice series, actually. It was really entertaining there. The last couple games, we felt like Nightmare was improving dramatically in the
Yes.
matchup. Would you agree?
Yeah, he's a really talented player. You could tell every game he got better and better.
Yeah.
He was doing some really cool movements and micro tricks that I hadn't really seen in Stormgate yet. You can really see him bringing that StarCraft 2 skill into this game very quickly.
Yeah, actually, one of the greatest sequences that we liked a lot was we were actually talking before the game where he went for the Mass Lancer with Upgrade Rush. We were actually literally talking about maybe he should try this build against your Gaunts, and then he did it, and you were like, I'm not attacking those. And you just like right-clicked away.
Yeah.
Could you tell us about that moment? Because it felt like very intentional while you were waiting for your Fiends to get up here and you were waiting for your Gaunt speed, maybe.
Was that the Lost Hope game?
Yeah,
The 4-player
yeah.
map?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a bunch of Lancers and I was like, nope. I think my economy is good. I can just move around the map, maneuver, expand, take camps, and just play for a late game. I don't have to all in if I see a bad situation. Even though that build is kind of all in on gas. But,
Yeah, it felt that way in game number 3 where you went for the timing attack, but you actually weren't able to break him. And then
Yes.
momentum swung so heavily in Nightmare's favor with that counterattack. Do you
Yes.
think that when you pull those 8 or so flaming imps and you try and commit to that push. If it fails, is it basically just game over?
I think so. I think I was just playing nervous and maybe a little lazy. I should have like flanked with the imps, like just play the long game, get behind, try to surround. I was just getting nervous, I think, and tried to hit him head on, but he's too good of a player to die to that.
Yeah. Could you talk to us a little bit about the role of the Weaver in your army? Because originally I thought you were going to be looking for like the yoinks on high value units, but it actually seemed like you used them more as a tank. Like, how do you see the role of the Weaver in this matchup?
My idea was the map is really big, so it'll take him a long time to get a critical mass of exos to my base. So once they get there, I just pick them apart with Weavers. I have like 4 Weavers, 4 exos out of his army, 4 exos out of his army. And I don't know if you guys saw, I played super greedy. I took 5. As soon as I saw him bunker up, I took 2 bases.
Yeah.
So I was on 5 shrine. So I was just banking money, wait for him to attack, see what he has, then make my units. And I chose Weavers. Yeah,
I guess that's the benefit of Infernos, that you can maybe wait a little bit with the charges, I guess. So you don't necessarily have to make everything right away. So,
Busted.
So busted, dude. I'm actually curious about the you had the little Hexen drop as well in that last game. With the
what
venom
was
traps
that?
doing the little ooga booga dances on the bob line. Is that something you do a lot in some games, or did you just kind of try experimenting with that?
It was really OP last phase because the cast time on the mine was like almost instant, so the workers would just disappear. But I thought, okay, he's like constantly kiting on the left side. He's not going to be watching his main, so that's why I did that. I don't know how many bobs it killed. I don't
think it killed any.
Like 0.
They got down to 10,
Zero?
but it denied mining for a really long time while that was all happening.
You only had 3 Hexens in the dropship, though. I thought you would have, if you had gone for 40, I think you could have gotten the entire mineral line, more or less.
I didn't know the exact numbers. I hadn't really done this in this match.
I think it looked like 4 because it was like, 2 rounds, and they were all on 10 HP.
Yeah,
so I think
that's
one.
right. And you
one
actually
more
had
Hexen.
a 4th Hexen that was following the Harbinger, and then it looked like you went to pick it up, and then you just flew away. So I don't know if that was a mistake or not.
It was definitely a mistake. So I use automated control groups to get like the unhotkeyed unit button. So I can unhotkey unit button, automated control groups. Hexens don't get automatically added. So
okay.
I might have had a couple Hexens derping around. I was like looking for them, like where are they?
Show yourselves.
So that's a bug, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I guess that does it for this one. How do you feel about your next match coming up against a Laser, Infernal versus Infernal?
That'll be
Or are you just going to go Celestial?
I think me and a Laser will probably play Infernal versus each other.
Nice.
I think we're tired of Celestials in this tournament, so
That would be
Nice.
I did have one more question. So what was the logic behind nobody playing Celestials on Jagged Maw there at the very end? Because Dan seemed like he was ready for you guys to bring out the Celestials there, but actually you just stuck with your main races. Was that a handshake agreement, or did you not feel confident in going for that push against Vanguard?
I don't know Nightmare well enough, but he was like, oh, I only Vanguard. But since I lost the previous game, I got to see his race first. So he picked Vanguard, and I was like, okay, I'll pick Infernal.
Makes sense.
Yeah, gentleman's game.
If he had chosen Celestial, would you have gone Celestial there?
Oh, 100%. I think I might be one of the people who like started this problem in this tournament. Like, oh, this build can beat parting. Oh, apparently it can beat anybody.
Yeah. No, I think you are part of the problem.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely the problem.
I think that'll do it. Thank you very much, Theory. Good luck in your next match. But first, we're going to do the winners final. So it's going to be Parting versus Probe coming up. Guys, don't forget to check out tastelessthreads.com for all of your clothing needs. I know that he doesn't sell underwear yet.
Socks about to be on the way.
Socks about to be on the way.
Yeah.
If he doesn't sell pants, a T-shirt upside down, you'll do fine. All right, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll do that winners match finals.